it's Dr. Manali Desai. Today I'm going to be talking about 5 tips to remember while you're trying to lose weight or get fit, eat healthier, and so on. The first thing to remember is that, certain things, sometimes you do things that are working and you're getting fit and losing weight, and sometimes things stop working. Sometimes your weight loss can plateau, and that means it might be time to try something else. And that can be frustrating, especially when you feel like you found something that works. But sometimes your body just gets used to something and then your weight loss will plateau because your body thinks, oh, nothing new is happening, so I'll just stay at this weight. And then it kind of stalls, and so you have to switch things up. And that can mean like if you were trying low carb, you switch to intermittent fasting. If you were doing intermittent fasting, you might switch to a plant-based diet. Like you may have to change things up so that your body gets confused and knows that like, oh, okay, something new is going on and we're still trying to lose weight or get fit. That doesn't happen to everybody. Sometimes people can just try one thing and they're able to lose all the weight and get to the fitness that they wanted to. But if you have a lot of weight to lose, a lot of times that can happen, that when you're trying to get fit, it can be that your body gets used to a certain thing and then it stops working. The second thing to remember is that what can help is help you as well is eating fiber first. Eating high fiber foods at the beginning of a meal can help decrease the amount of blood sugar that you absorb, and then you can end up, you probably will end up eating less, hopefully during the meal, because your blood sugar doesn't shoot up as much. So, for example, if you ate bread first, your blood sugar would get very high, and then you'd be more likely to eat more during the entire meal. However, if you eat, let's say, a salad first, which I know it's not that exciting, but if you eat a salad first before you ate the rest of the food, even the bread, then you had fiber, and then you're less likely to absorb the subsequent bread or pasta or anything else you eat. And then you're less likely to eat as much because your blood sugar doesn't get as high, and so your body's not trying to maintain that blood sugar level. So remember to try and eat high fiber foods whenever possible first, and that can be salads. That's usually the easiest, but it could also be things that you would think of as sides, like Brussels sprouts or cauliflower, guacamole with less chips, so like a higher guacamole to chip ratio, or things like fruit. If it's earlier in the day, you may be having fruit, like if it's a breakfast or brunch type meal. So those are things to remember: is that try to eat higher fiber foods at the beginning of the meal before you eat any carbs or sugary foods. The third thing to remember when trying to lose weight is to remember to do strength training as well. And sometimes people don't like to do that because, when you're losing weight and then you start building muscle or you do strength training, you're actually putting on weight because the muscle may be heavier than the fat that you lost. And like a lot of times people like to see the numbers going down on the scale. But actually, building muscle can help you burn more fat. It helps increase your metabolism. And so strength training, the recommendation for anybody is at least to do 1.5 to 2.5 hours a week. And that's just for your general health. And so definitely work into strength training. And if you're not strong enough, do isometric or resistance exercises like with resistance bands or your body weight, isometric exercises. But there are even small ways you can do strength training if you're not strong enough to lift weights. But definitely doing some strength training will help because it helps burn more fat. And so in general, you also need to be eating healthy protein to help do strength training. You really can't build muscle without actually having protein as well. And the general recommendation is around 1.6 grams per kilogram of weight. So kilogram as opposed to pounds, 1.6 grams of protein per kilogram of your body weight. And that's around the general recommendation. You want to be in that range, a little bit more, a little bit less, it doesn't matter, but that's around the range you want to be to try to build muscle while you're also losing fat when you're losing weight. The fourth thing to remember is that there are other ways you can increase your metabolism. Now, these are less well tested, but there are studies that show that doing things like either drinking coffee or green tea every day, and maybe 1 or 2 cups a day throughout the day, it can help increase your metabolism and keep your metabolism increased. Also, capsicum, like what's in red chili peppers, can help increase your metabolism, but you probably will have to have it a couple of times a day, whatever you're trying to increase your metabolisms to help keep your metabolism higher. Now, that doesn't work for everyone, but it does work for quite a few people, especially caffeine. A lot of people do find that to be beneficial. And you want it to be something like coffee or green tea or something like that, because that's healthier than diet soda, because it has diet soda has artificial sweetener, and that helps some people with weight loss, but makes some people's weight loss journey worse. And so I would recommend not artificial sweetener caffeine drinks, but caffeine drinks that are not having artificial sweetener. Hopefully no sugar at all is obviously best. But I would, coffee or green tea tend to be the ones that are easiest for most people to incorporate into their diet. And the fifth thing to remember to be patient when you're trying something new and at least give it, I would say, 4 to 6 weeks to see if there's any effect. Sometimes it takes a little bit of time for your body to realize you're doing something new and to sort of kickstart weight loss. And so I would give it a little bit of time and try one thing at a time. It's hard to be patient. A lot of times when we get motivated to lose weight, we want to try a whole bunch of things at the same time. And some people can do that, but I say it's about 10% of people who seem to be able to just try all the things and it all works all at once. Most people get burned out if they try to do that. So it's best to try one thing at a time and try it for a few weeks, 4 weeks, 6 weeks, see if it's working or not. If it's not working, then, stop that and try something else. And losing weight slowly and getting fit at the same time over time will last longer for you, especially if you can make healthy eating habits that you're able to stick with long term and that are good for your overall health as well.